What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and it is Friday, January 30th. Yeah, double check. 2025. We're at Polderbaan, where it is misty and cold. This is Finnair, arriving from bloody Helsinki in Finland. Flight 1301. And a very good morning to everybody who has joined. Wolfgang, Jackie, good morning. Welcome one and all. Was Maria there as well? Or is it one of the rare instances where she isn't there? No, Maria is there as well. Good evening, Maria. Welcome to everybody else who joined already. Let's quickly turn around the camera. Our next airplane is arriving from Hyderabad in India. KLM flight 874, Boeing 7879 Dreamliner. Flight time 9 hours 5 minutes. Papa Hotel Bravo Hotel Echo, 9 years old already. First flight March 2016. It's cold, it's windy, and I forgot to put on my heated gloves. Let's get going with that. Take out all the batteries. First find the numbers 1 and 2. Here they are. Right. Hey, wait, no, huh? Oh, okay. Airplane that's not shown on flight radar landing here first. I already thought this was looking a bit strange for a KLM Dreamliner. Helvetic E2 Embraer 190 if I recall correctly. Right, that Dreamliner arriving from Hyderabad should be next. Quickly get on with it. Fetch me a glove, connect the battery, place the battery in the cuff. That's battery number 1. That will probably wear out in 10 minutes, but still. Number 2. Open the zipper for the cuff. Grab that connector. Put it in the cuff. Zip up. Put on, switch on, back to the camera. Weather not the best, as you guys can see. It's pretty low visibility here. Charging delayed because of low temperature. Warning just on my screen of my phone. Hey, Nilso got some really good pictures Tuesday, nice. Officer Rudolph also sent me pictures and videos to rub it in. Hey, share them in the community section, why don't you, Nizel? It's not mandatory, but it is always appreciated. The firefighters are coming! I hear them.
I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter. I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter.
Firefighters bringing their salute to AMS live audience at home. And we greeted them back. Air Arabia Morocco is up next. Arriving from Nador in Morocco. A320. That has been underway for 2 hours and 49 minutes. The Charlie November, Mike November. That's a lot of November, and we're in January still. Or already, depending on the way you look at it. 11-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in November, of course, 2014. And it's arriving from Morocco, which is in the north of Africa. In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody who has joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and as you can see, the weather is not the greatest. It is foggy, misty, bit windy, just above zero, not the warmest of days. Chris and Curtis Scooter doing morning cardio, as they almost always are whenever we do see them. The next airplane that should become visible is, I think, a relocation flight arriving from Norwich. Doesn't have a flight number, but it does have a call sign starting with 9, KLM 9868. Usually flights with 9 are relocation flights, either to or from a training or maintenance. So I suspect that this does not contain any passengers. Hey, nice. Niesel posted some of his pictures from Tuesday when the F-35s and the A330 tanker were at Schiphol. I'll have a look when I'm done streaming this afternoon, Niesel. Sounds good. In the meantime, a good morning to everybody who has joined. Hey, 767 about to turn final. That's good news, Wolfgang. Hey Jay, good morning. Leen, goedemorgen. Klaus, good morning. Hans, goedemorgen. Back from maintenance. Ah, there you go. Hans confirming what I suspected. Maintenance. Maintenance in Norwich. And there it is. 737-800. The Papa Hotel Bravo Charlie Golf. That's a 6-year-old airplane. First flight was in March 2019. Flight time 28 minutes, of course. Only thing it needs to do is cross the Gulf of Yorkshire. As the crow flies, Norwich not that far away. Just the Gulf of Yorkshire in between. Next after this will be an EasyJet A320 returning from Bristol. The Firefighters are on the other side. If I zoom out a little, you can see them together. There they are. On their way. Hold up. Wat zeg je? Ja. Waarom toeteren die mensen? Het zijn gewoon hele aardige brandweermannen. Nee, als ze even hier mensen zien, dan meestal als je zwaait, dan tuteren ze. Dat vinden ze leuk. Hoewel, soms heb ik het idee dat de tuters op rantsoen zijn. Dus het is niet altijd, maar meestal wel.
Ik wist niet dat je hier stond.
Ja, nee, die brug die zat ertussen, dan zie je het niet inderdaad, dat klopt. Waarom tuteren die brandweermannen toch? Ik doe toch niks verkeerds?
Nou, doe je het vaker?
Dit? Ja, zeker. U kunt mij hier wekelijks vinden, normaal gesproken.
Oké.
Ja.
Nou, dat is wel even leuk.
Absoluut. Ja, als het weer meewerkt, helemaal.
Het is een beetje mistig, maar ja.
Het is een beetje mistig, ja.
Maar ja, goed, als ze er dichtbij komen, dan is het goed.
Ja, precies. Het is niet potdicht, dat scheelt. Yeah, I'm not completely alone here. A gentleman with a big camera and a big lens is also over here, and he was walking a bit further on the other side of the bridge, and he was wondering why the firemen were honking, and he thought, are they honking to me or what? He didn't see me at first instance. And he's also here to take some pictures. This is EasyJet flight 22921 arriving from Bristol. Next after this will be KLM flight 1402 arriving from Paris. That's the first A321neo of the show. Wolfgang asks if we see departures from 09. Unfortunately, no, Wolfgang. I cannot even see the main tower from here. You know, it should be somewhere over there behind the trees, but seeing departures or arrivals to 06 from here right now with the current visibility is impossible. The wind is still blowing from the east, so we do sometimes hear the airplanes taking off from 09, but we're unable to see anything from here today, right now at least. In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and we're here at the Polderbaan, runway 18 right, where it is a bit foggy. We are awaiting 1747 from Cathay. That's arriving from Dubai, if I recall correctly, and it was expected in, I think, just over half an hour from now. The Emirates A380 is also underway. That should be here at around 1:15. So that's a candidate for the center runway, assuming they're not going to use 06 as secondary runway. I haven't checked Bezoekpas yet, so maybe there's more information about the runway use for the upcoming hours available on that website already. With the current visibility, it might be that they are going to use 06 as secondary runway for spatial separation. Hey, tot ziens, fijne dag hè! With the current low visibility, parallel arrivals is probably too close to one another. Emirates A380 will arrive around 1:15. Depending on how clear the sky is, I'm not sure that we're going to see it. If runway 06 is going to be used as secondary runway for arrivals later in the show, and that might be the case as long as it stays as misty as it currently is, maybe we will be able to catch a glimpse of it landing on the wrong runway. But if all is well, the Transavia Retro should arrive here at a time when only one runway for inbound traffic is open, and I'm still counting on that to be the Polderbaan later in the morning. This is United Airlines flight 909, and that's a 767-300er. Comes equipped with reverse thrust, as you heard, hopefully. That was pretty loud. Dave was wondering if I called that EasyJet a Giza. No, I didn't. I'm not sure if that was the registration. I didn't call it a Giza. In the meantime, Maria is celebrating 28 months of membership, and she writes, "Thank you for standing in the cold for us. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Maria." Thank you for your long-standing support as a member. 28 months, that's 2 years and 4 months. And also for everything you've been doing as a moderator to support the channel. Almost always there. Thank you so much for all your support as well, Maria. And I hope that both the modding and the membership are still to your liking. And if either of the two is no longer to your satisfaction, do hit me up, let me know. Let me see what I can change to make things better for you. Thank you and congratulations, Maria. 28 months as a member. Wow. Russell Crowe crept up on me. He was on ground level first. Then I saw him and I think he sought higher ground as a response. And is that, yeah, that's Fidel Castro, isn't it? Yeah, that's Fidel Castro. Sitting on the spikes. They don't give a shit about anti-bird measures. They'll just sit wherever they want. SAS A320neo, arriving from Copenhagen. Brian, good evening. Tuning in from down under. Marijke, goedemorgen. Gertijn, goedemorgen. Buddy, goedemorgen. Mrs. Professor, good morning. And Monzi, good morning to you as well. 9 months as a member, and Monzi is celebrating even longer as a subscriber. Thanks, boy. Well, you're welcome, Monzi. Thank you so much for your long-standing support. 9 months as a member. Hope those 9 months have been to your liking and are still to your liking. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. Hope you will stick around for many more months to come. If not in the lounge as a member, then at least as a regular frequent visitor. Congratulations and thank you, Monzi, for your long-standing support. This is Delta Airlines, flight 136, arriving from Detroit, Michigan. A330-300, 7 hours, 18 minutes to flight time. A little moisture. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen. Marissa also back in the chat. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. In the meantime, very good morning to everybody else. Louise is saying bye-bye. Bye-bye, Louise. And thanks for joining. Bart says in Dutch, hopefully they're not going to complain that you're standing there. I sure hope they won't. If all is well, they shouldn't. If all is well, they shouldn't. Hey Luke, good morning. Tuning in from Sweden. Welcome to the show, mate. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. If you are having any questions, feel free to ask. Many are watching. Together they know a lot. And most people are friendly. I will happily try to answer any questions that you might be having. The lights that you see over there are Air Arabia Morocco flight 127, and that's arriving from Tangier, and that's also in Morocco, in the north of Africa. Battery number 1 already gave out, as I thought. Just 10 minutes left in the tank. One of the original batteries. Then again, the other is still working like a charm, so guess I just had a lemon with that one. Plenty spare in the bag. No stress about getting cold hands anytime soon. Air Arabia Baroque is landing, and next after this will be KLM flight 644 arriving from New York JFK. That's a 787-10 Dreamliner. Things are pretty grey over here, so I switched up the white balance to around 5400 Kelvin. If this is too yellow or greenish for you guys, let me know. I can lower it and make it a bit more blue. If it is still too blue, I can raise the white balance even further. I'm seeing things on my laptop and on my camera screen, but of course you guys may see something else at home. So if you think that the color balance, the white balance needs to be altered, let me know. If the ambient audio is too high or too low, let me know as well. Those are things I can easily change for you guys. Nicholas is giving us an update that the A380 has now caught up a few more minutes of time and is now expected 5 minutes after 1. That's good news. If its ETA will end up a few minutes before 1 o'clock, there's a very big chance, or at least the likelihood of us being able to see it here on the Polderbaan increase significantly. KLM flight 644 returning from New York JFK, and next after this will be Delta Airlines flight 56, which is arriving from Salt Lake City in Utah. Kees is tuning in from Middelburg in the southwesterly province of Zeeland, and he is reporting sunshine. What? In the meantime, they are constructing over there. There's the guy with the camera that I was talking to earlier. You can see a tractor over there. And another person over there. Excavators are getting closer to the Polderbaan parking lot. And adjacent to it, on this side, they are also now constructing and working. Marianne says image is great. Thank you for the feedback, Marianne. And Wolfgang as well. If anything should be altered, let me know. I am color vision deficient, so if it is too green to your liking, let me know. Might be that it only turns to be too green to my liking if it is really, really green for you guys already. Not sure. Not 100% sure if I said it correctly, but if I didn't, let me know. Over 80, guten Morgen. Und herzlich willkommen. Delta Airlines flight 56 arriving from Salt Lake City, Utah. A330-300, 10 hours precisely underway. 18-year-old airplane, first flight July 2007. Flap surface is pretty decently looking. Wonder if Delta is also allowed to use the airplane car wash that KLM, I think KLM has. They ought to have one. Either that or those interns are all working to clean those wide bodies. Hey Boreas, good to see you again. Bas, goedemorgen. Peter K, good morning. Welcome to the show for everybody else. Leo, goedemorgen. Right, the sun is breaking through in all sorts of locations in the Netherlands. Over here, not so much luck though. Big picture-wise, this is what currently the north is looking like. This is what things look like to my west. This is things to the east, and this is looking to the south. Who knows, maybe as the day progresses things will get better. It does look, when you see the horizon, that the north of us, it's also a bit lighter. Maybe there's just a big patch of nebulosity over the Randstad. We'll see if the weather will improve. This is SAS flight 1553 arriving from Stockholm, and next after this will be Air Canada flight 808. Is that the 777-200 long range again? I think it is. I see 77L in my flight radar window. If I recall correctly, that was the 200 long range. Yep. Yeah, maybe you're right, Blocky. Technically speaking, you may actually call a car wash for airplanes a plane wash. I think you may be right in that. Hey Alida, goedemorgen. Mr. Mika, goedemorgen. Peter Flight Devil, goedemorgen. Good morning, one and all. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream despite the shitty weather. If you are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. If you want to help us reach more people in the future, it will help greatly. Air Canada Flight 808 is up next. 6 hours 53 minutes underway from Toronto. And this is a 777-200 long range. 17 years old. Charlie Foxtrot November Delta. First flight January 2008, making it 17 years old. Not resulting in the amount of spray that I would have hoped to see, but I guess it stayed dry here overnight. Jeffrey, goedemorgen. Han, goedemorgen. Tina, goedemorgen. Jeff, not sure if I already said hi to you. Obviously, a very good morning to you too. Yeah, it's differing. It's on the one hand, it looks a bit brighter. On the other, it looks a bit darker. Now it looks a bit brighter over here, looking directly up. It doesn't look like any blue is breaking through. Departures from 09. Audible on the ambient mic. Chinese triple up next. China Southern Cargo flight 2573, and that is a 777 freighter Bravo 2072. Flight time 12 hours 5 minutes. 16 years old already. First flight March 2009. Turning 17 next month. Oh. Spoke too soon. It is not yet February. Not yet, almost, but not quite. Optimus Toaster is also back in the chat. Good to see you. Vanessa, good morning. Tuning in from Yorkshire, UK. Woke up to a sprinkle of snow. Well, over here we had snow yesterday overnight and yesterday morning. Here in the west, everything melted away. The northern provinces have had quite a struggle with snow and icing and slipperiness. Didn't stream yesterday because not only did we have snow, but it was even worse visibility than today. It did clear up a bit more later in the day as the day progressed. Then again, I thought, well, the weather is shitty. And then we have a streamer who now allegedly dedicates himself to that type of weather, which I'm not buying. Turkish up next, flight 1951, arriving from Istanbul, Turkey, A330-300, 3 hours and a minute on the way. That's almost spot on average flight duration, 3 hours. 14 years old already, first flight April 2011, the Tango Charlie Juliet November. What a lot of Novembers in the registrations of the airplanes thus far. Remarkable. A nice tune-up on the livery. And it's less than 2 months before, well, 1.5, just over 1.5 months before our local pride Keukenhof will reopen again. The 7478, 10 minutes out. Thanks for the heads up, Wolfgang. In the south also, Jackie says, you mean snow or sun or... I'm probably missing the reference. That is entirely my fault. Hey Gurdeep, good morning. Keaton Productions, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody else. Our next airplane to arrive on Polderbaan is going to be Air Dolomiti, arriving from Frankfurt, flight 8946. And that's an Embraer 190 long range, Italian registered. India Juliet Echo November Hotel. Hailing from 2010, making it 16 years old. Ah, okay. Yeah, in the south, I suspected in the south it already melted away. For some reason, over the last week, the northern three provinces have had cloudiness. Also last week when we were streaming here, we had sun, and they had grayness and snow and slipperiness. For some reason, that divide between the northern provinces and the rest of the Netherlands has stayed in place for, I think, the entire week. Not sure if it's going to change anytime soon. I think for the upcoming weekend, the wind is going to stay the same. There's a big area of high pressure over Scandinavia, and that seems to be pretty firmly located where it is right now. As long as that's staying in place, not a lot will change here as well. Will change here either, I should say. There's Air Dolomiti. And the triple in the background. Our next arrival is going to be Delta Airlines Flight 142, arriving from Seattle in Washington. Bill J's hometown. A330 Neo, 9 hours and 44 minutes. That will be underway. 3-year-old airplane, May 2022 is when it first began flying. November 414 Delta Zulu. And hey, that's interesting. Good over there. And the two morning cardio coots are over there. Still at it. Working up an appetite. After morning cardio, they'll have breakfast. Delta Airlines Flight 142, arriving from Seattle, Washington. Flight time 9 hours, 44 minutes. It is all white still in Asse, such a different vibe. Absolutely, I can imagine. In the meantime, Dylan, good morning. Guido, goedemorgen. And welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined in the meantime. Hey, nice. Avgeeks will be flying the Air Dolomiti to the Winter Olympics in February. Is that to Bolzano then? Will you be flying into Bolzano, or where will you land? Hunter Cat is tuning in from a very hot South Australia. Where in South Australia are you located, and how warm might it be in your part of the world currently? In the ticker you can find the current weather circumstances. It's 1 degree above 0, 1 Celsius, and we have wind and a bit of haziness. And this is Transavia returning from Salzburg in Austria, 737-800, flight 6592, EasyJet arriving from Edinburgh next after that. Summer has begun on the southern hemisphere, so all the Aussies and Kiwis watching are probably enjoying warm weather, or at least a bit warmer than we do over here in the Netherlands right now. Flying to Milan. Nice info. So what activities will be held in Milan? Maybe skating or something, or just the ceremonies? Will most of the I assume that most of the activities will be in Cortina. So strange that it's Milano Cortina that's organizing the Olympics. If you look on the map, if you're not familiar with the topography of Italy, you will see that Milan is pretty far from Cortina. Martin also back in the chat. Good morning, Martin. Hope all is well. Welcome back, buddy. EasyJet returning from Edinburgh. Skating, hockey, curling, right. Nice. Hockey and curling, one of my favorite things to watch during the Winter Olympics if I get the chance to do so. One more calm and strategic, the other constant action. Probably won't have that much opportunity to watch it. It's probably 2 weeks, right? So I'll hopefully have more opportunity to watch during the second week. Hey Senna, goedemorgen. Yep, indeed, 747 underway, absolutely. And Jackie is off mate. There's a 747 landing here minutes from now. Look on flight radar, you can see it's turning in. The Cathay Pacific 747, the only 747 we're going to see in the show, barring any surprise visitors from Paris or Frankfurt. It's going to land in minutes from now. Nordic Sim Racer, yo! Croatia Airlines A220. Looks good, doesn't it? On an A320, I think the livery is a tad dull, but I think just the nicer shape of the A220 makes every livery look a bit nicer to begin with. Optimus speculates, are we even going to be able to see the 747? Well, we should be able to hear it at least. And that's also worth a lot. Yeah, no, glide slope visibility, of course, is nil. No sugarcoating that, but yeah. Hockey, let's go Slovakia. Slovakia is pretty good with respect to hockey, aren't they? But the Olympics is a 2-week. It is a 2-week event, isn't it? Because I'll be away myself next week. Actually, going. I've looked it up. I'll be going to a ski area that is, as the crow flies, only 30 kilometers from Cortina d'Ampezzo. More people have arrived to watch airplanes. And there is a tractor over there. It's red. I think it's a Massey Ferguson. That's depositing sand. They're I'm not sure what they're doing, but they... And last time we were here, you could also see them on occasion driving past. They're dumping sand. Undoubtedly has to do with the construction that has been going on there for a while now. Hadi Gerrit, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Bronze medal, that's a nice title to defend, Peter. Hopefully you guys will do well, get an even better medal. Case, okay, case tracker. There you go. All right, this is the airplane preceding the 747 KM Malta. Where is it arriving from? Guess, you can guess, but you're allowed to guess only once. Explore more stories, damn it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sit back. Or maybe not, and crouch towards your screen to see it, to find it. The only 747 of the show should be next. The lights have become visible. There it is. Cathay Cargo Flight 2067, Boeing 747-8, arriving from Dubai World Center. 7 hours, 49 minutes the flight time. It's the Bravo Lima Juliet India, and that is a 13-year-old airplane. First flight August 2012. 7 hours and 50 minutes it has flown. And now touching down. Let's listen for the reversers. Not too bad, but I've heard better, honestly. But that definitely was not a bad landing. Reversers being deployed. If you guys are still enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, consider adding to the likes if you want to help us reach more people in the future. We're still awaiting an Emirates A380. Last time one of you guys checked, its ETA was 105 and it was making up time. Earlier it had an ETA of 115. The earlier it becomes, and if it becomes an ETA before 1 o'clock, the likelihood of us seeing it here on Polderbaan increased significantly, so fingers crossed. Jackie is now free to go. The landing of the 747. Thanks for sticking with us, mate, and enjoy. We'll see you again in the next one, hopefully. Marky is also back. Good to see you again, mate. It has been a long time indeed, but we haven't forgotten about you. Good to be back. Good to see you again. It's good that you're back. Let me turn around quickly. Delta Airlines Flight 74 will land next, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. A330neo. See you later, Jackie. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Hunter Cat says that the Cathay Pacific in the retro livery looks fantastic. I heard they are also going to don a 747-8 in that same livery, which is very nice because at least those are being sent to Amsterdam quite regularly. Of course, Cathay Pacific only sends their A350-1000 to Amsterdam for passengers, so with the retro livery put on a 900. That's an airplane we're not going to see here anytime soon. But with a 7478 also in that same retro livery, we do stand the chance of being able to see that here at Schiphol at some point in the future. Fingers crossed. Peter K says that there is a rivet joint above me. Yeah, thanks for the heads up, Peter. It's unfortunate that we aren't able to see it. In the meantime, Bas is celebrating. He is celebrating 2/3 of a year of membership, 8 months. Bas, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your support as a member. I hope that everything in the lounge still is to your liking and has been to your liking. If you have suggestions for things that can be improved, let me know. I'll happily look into it to see if I can make your user experience better. Chris Koot is over there, and so too is Donald. I haven't seen Daisy yet, but where Donald is, Daisy is never too far away. Oh. And there you go, all of a sudden there is Daisy. Tarom Butshot. Tarom in the meantime landed just now, arriving from Bucharest. Hey, guten Morgen, Oliver. Liebe Grüße zurück. Herzlich willkommen. Hope you were still in time to see the 747 that landed minutes ago, Oliver. Lala Loopsy asks if there's already coffee ready with donuts for if the police comes. Always. We always have coffee and donuts for the police ready. Absolutely. Next up, KLM Flight 1002, arriving from London.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Merry fucking Poppins, London.
Well, bad food, worse weather is also something. Worse weather is something that we also have here in the Netherlands. E2 Embraer, KLM Flight 1002, and next will be KLM Flight 1352, arriving from the Czech Republic, from Prague. Lance is also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Saw your email, haven't gotten around to responding yet, but I have seen it and I have read it. Of course, all is well on my end here. And Jeff Herdekut, that's right. It's this one that you probably heard. He's the one who's closest by. Next up, German Airways. That's KLM Flight 1352. Operating on behalf of KLM, arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. First time I'm seeing they're using a German Airways Embraer to do this flight. Still, it's under the moniker of KLM. This is a flight from the DAG MP. We've seen that before. 17-year-old specimen, hailing from 2009. And there are Donald and Daisies. Hey, Livo, also back. I don't think I've seen you in the new year before. Happy New Year, buddy. Nice to see ya. Crame wonders, why does the title of the livestream say January 30, 2025? It's 2026 now. It's to make sure that you have something to complain about, mate. Well spotted. Yeah, it's still early for me when I wake up and announce those live streams. I am a night owl, so must have overlooked it. Let me see if I can fix the title as we speak. speak. Where should I be able to do that? Stream settings. Is there an edit button? Oh yeah, there it is. Well spotted, and thanks for letting us know. 2026, it is January 30th, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. Should be corrected now. Freddy Dutch, good morning. Danny, goedemorgen. Dalia, goedemorgen. Matt, goedemorgen. Not sure if I already said hi to all of you, but happy Friday and good morning to everyone. Hope you guys were in time to see the 747 land minutes ago. There are more underway, but those will arrive here later in the afternoon after I will have finished streaming. Hopefully we'll still be able to catch a glimpse of the A380 that is still underway. Martin asks, still no Grebes? Unfortunately, the answer is sadly no. I have seen Grebes, but last time I saw one was at the canal where I got sent away the other day. The threshold of 18 left, the Aalsmeerbaan. Though I do believe I might have seen one here as well, but today I haven't. Fair weather Grebes, indeed, John. This is KLM Flight 696 arriving from Toronto. That's a little bit of reverse thrust being applied there. And a wheelie to boot. I call that a full bingo card landing. Home Wanderers, are you the kind I wake up, do a pee, get out of bed and think there's something wrong? I don't know. I don't think I am. I'm not exactly sure what you are referring to or alluding to. Hey Jan, goedemorgen. Morning. Reticent guy in the house. Good to see you, mate. Say hello to Simi. Wish her well. In the meantime, time to replace another battery of a heated glove. So the original batteries that came with the gloves really do start to wear out a little, but that's okay. 6 more left. Lifesavers these are. K5 passed by. You might have picked up on the sound. I still find it comical that the license plate still says K1 and that the 5 is in a different color than the K. Cheap copy pasting, and it shows. Air Oink Oink arriving from Istanbul, flight 1251, A321neo, no Karen cabin on this airplane. I think so too. I would expect so. Absolutely, Jan. By Crafter's hammer, what a wheelie. Jeff is impressed. Reynolds says KLM just squawked 7700 above France. Which flight would that be? We have seen flights that were underway to their destination return to Schiphol, even though they were closer to their destination than to Amsterdam. Is it an outbound flight or an inbound flight, Ronald? Hey, good news, Nicholas. Thanks for looking that up and sharing that information with us. Nicholas says that the A380 is now expected at around 12:58. That's good news. That's an ETA that makes it a candidate for the Polderbaan, assuming that this will stay the primary runway in the upcoming hours, which I think it will be. Hans favorite Vueling in the meantime, arrival from Malaga, is the one that's still in place. The answer is yes, it is. Outbound to Marseille, okay. So, looking on flight radar, what does it seem to be doing now? Is it descending? Is it in the holding? Is it turning back to Amsterdam? Is it diverting? Is it continuing to Marseille? "99 Bravo." Thanks, John. Well, I only have inbound flights filtered now on flight radar. Seems to be turning back. Okay. Well, keep me posted, guys. Of course, if it is arriving from the south with the prevailing wind, they might also opt for landing on 06. So if that's going to happen, we're not going to see anything of it. Cormorant. Over there. With its long neck. ITA, flight 108, arrival from Rome, up here. Has it had a nose job? It's almost looking like it. A little bit brighter nose cone than the rest of the livery. Doesn't seem to be original anymore. Diverting to Paris. Okay, well, there you go. Well, interesting. Might be a medical emergency. Hey, Ilko is back in the chat. Ilko is celebrating 15 months of membership. He writes, "Top of the morning to you. Thanks for everything. Top of the morning to you too, Ilko. And thank you so much for your ongoing support as a member for 15 months. I hope those 15 months have been to your liking and that everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If that's no longer the case, let me know. Let me know what's up. Let me see if I can improve things for you. Hope you'll stick around for many more months to come, Ilko. Always a pleasure to have you in our chat, and I hope that will stay the case for a long time to come. All right, what's this? A vehicle with strobes on. Hey Ricardo, goedemorgen. Ricardo is onderweg naar de Polderbaan. Nice. I already thought you were coming over. Come over and say hi when you are here, right? Ricardo is on your way to the Polderbaan. Make sure you dress warm, Ricardo. It is pretty cold with the wind out here. Okay, descending hard. That's might be a medical emergency then. Where there's one ITA, there's never a second one far off. A second one is never too far off. ITA Airways Flight 120 is the next arrival. Bombardier C-Series 300. And that is arriving from Milan. 1 hour and 32 minutes away. Irish registered. EIHHM, Hotel Mike. 2-year-old airplane, first flight August 2023. And I'll drink to that. Small glass of vodka to keep warm. E2 Embraers, A220s, they're so whiny. Adi Jillard, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again, mate. Right, some of you guys elsewhere in the country were reporting sunshine. Over here, it's not looking like it's going to be sunny here anytime soon. It's pretty stable shitty. I would say. Excavator over there doing excavating work. Blackburst back in the chat, good to see you, Blackburst. Hey Floris, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again. Next airplane landing here will be KLM flight 1930. After that, Transavia arriving from Innsbruck. And after that, Delta, another Delta A330 arriving from Orlando, Florida. No Karen cabin in this airplane. You can see. All smooth and streamlined. Ah, is that Delta in the Team USA livery? Nice. Thanks for the heads up, Marissa. And Norwegian also with a special livery on final, Ronald says. Looking forward to seeing that then. Before that all goes down, first we'll have to wait for Transavia flight 6610 to have landed. Arriving from Innsbruck, in Tyrol, in Austria. 737-800, 1 hour 15 minutes to flight time. The Papa Hotel, X-Ray, Juliet. That's an 8-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in April 2017. Peter wonders, what percentage of alcohol is in your vodka? 100. Give us a moody shot of the megalithic arc of excrement, Lance asks. Well, here you go. Maybe a little music to accompany it. Hope that you guys are enjoying the show despite the shitty visibility. If you are enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, maybe you want to help add with the number of likes to help us reach a wider audience in the future. This is Delta Airlines Flight 90 arriving from Orlando in Florida, where it is undoubtedly warmer than it is over here. It is the Team USA livery. Flight time has been 8 hours and 4 minutes. The November 411 Delta X-Ray, 4-year-old airplane, first flight May 2021. Would be nice to see that other Team USA livery as well. The A350 or the LA-28. Or any A350 from Delta for that matter. For a long time it's been an A330 exclusive destination for Delta. Hadi Gineke, goedemorgen. Serial Killer, good morning. Glackham Track, good morning. Think of the warm excrement flowing over that arch. Ain't technology wonderful? Yes, yes it is. As long as the bridge doesn't start to leak. Otherwise, we might have to relocate. Now, zooming out, looking to the north, it does look like it is brighter over there. Once again, it was brighter to the north to begin with, then it got a little darker. Now, once again, I'm almost inclined to say that over there I see a patch of near blue sky, so it doesn't look like the clouds here are that dense. Unlike some of the people that are walking around here sometimes. Norwegian up next, and that was also a special livery, wasn't it? Yep. Jean Sibelius. That's the composer, right? Or is that an author? Not sure. Thought Sibelius was pretty sure it's a composer, isn't it? Isn't he? Wasn't he? Probably was. Yes, composer. There you go. I like the mustache. That's a good mustache on him. Butt shot to boot. Here we go. Returning from Stockholm after 1 hour and 43 minutes of flight. This MAX 8737. Only 2 years old still. First flight July 2023. Hey, Ronald is celebrating 30 months of membership. Ronald, one of the longest standing members. Double digits and the first digits a 3. Thank you so much. And there also Liewe is celebrating. He also with a double digit where the first digit starts with a 3 membership celebration. That is tremendous. Ronald says that the Aurora Sky Lounge keeps me warm. Thanks, you're welcome. And thank you so much for your ongoing support, Ronald. And also a massive, massive big thank you and congratulations to Liewe, who says time flies when you are having none. 33 months of membership. That's almost 3 years, mate. 3 months still left, and then it is a new batch for you. And only 6 more for Ronald. Thank you both so much, lads, for the ongoing support. It's always a pleasure to have you guys in the chat. Also a big thanks to Liewe for everything he has been doing as a very valued moderator and ever since he became one. To both of you I say I hope that the membership is still to your liking. If either of you two think that's no longer the case, let me know. If you were to resign your membership, at least give me some feedback as to why. So that I can hopefully improve things. But hopefully you guys still stick around for many more months to come. Liewe, I hope that the modding is also still to your liking. If that's no longer the case, hit me up. You know how to reach me. Thank you so much. And Mrs. Professor says that there's actually a cold front coming to Florida, bringing temps near freezing this weekend. Okay, well, speaking of Orlando, Florida today, before the cold front arrives, what's going on in the United States? It's even made it to the news in the Netherlands how cold it has been in all the big cities, New York, and the rest of the United States as well. QJ also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. And this is Cassie. Cassie butt shot in the making. Martinair, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again. Wouter, goedemorgen kerel. Marissa says that center will be opening for arrival soon, so that's in good news in that respect, that if the A380 doesn't make it before 1, hopefully we'll get to see it landing on the center runway, Hopefully visibility will be such that we will be able to see it. In the meantime, Han is also celebrating. He is joining Liwe with 33 months of membership. Max membership indeed. Thank you so much, Han. Always a pleasure to have you in our chat, and I hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come. If not as a badged subscriber, aka a member, then at least as a regular frequent visitor. Thank you so much for your long-standing support, Han. Almost 3 years. You guys are just a few months shy of getting that new gradient. We're going from 3 years onwards. The badges are going to get a bit more exciting. Gradient first, stars and diamonds later. And Marissa is joining as well. Everybody is celebrating 33 months. Incredible. If anything in the lounge is amiss, Han, let me know. And that also goes for Marissa. Marissa is celebrating 33 months of membership as well. That's 2 years and 9 months, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, those people who are celebrating 33 months are almost the longest standing members. I think maybe Vic and Jerry are now at 34, or if not, they will get to 34 pretty soon. But everybody who is celebrating 33 months is the top 20 oldest members, the 20 oldest members of AMS Live. Easily, if it's not the top 15 or top 10. I should have to look into that to see exactly who is longest standing and in what order. But that is incredible. Marissa, dankjewel. Thank you so much. Congratulations for your 33.5 months of membership. Let's be technically correct. And thank you also so much, Marissa, for everything you've been doing to support the channel as a moderator, a very valued moderator at that, ever since you became one. I hope that both the modding and the membership are to your liking still, but do let me know if anything can be improved on. I really am serious about that. Let me know if anything can be improved. I'll happily look into that. Try to make your user experience as a member better, if that can be done. Thank you so much, Marissa. Dankjewel. Hope you'll stick around for many more months to come. Ideally as both a mod and a member, but if not, then that is fine as well. Martin R, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your super chat. I don't see any accompanying text along with it, but that's okay. Thank you so much, Martin. En Hinko, goedemorgen. Nico, goedemorgen. Keenan, goedemorgen. James Mail, good morning and welcome back, mate. Oh dear, we've humbled James Mail, who is celebrating a membership of 28 months, and he thought that was a long time. Mate, it is. 28 and 33 don't differ that much. It's well into the 2 years, and that makes you an above average long-standing member. Thank you so much, James, for your support as well. And to you too, I say I hope that everything is still to your liking in the lounge. And if it's not, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. Mark H is back in the chat. Good morning. From good morning. And in the meantime, Gerhard van Ingen. Is that Dutch or is that German? Has become our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member, and right after that he really went ahead and gifted no less than 20 memberships. So not only did Gerhard just become a member himself, he also took 20 people with him into the Aurora Sky Lounge. A warm welcome to you all. Gerhard, thank you so much for your stupendous generosity. 20 new members, courtesy of you. I hope that each and every one of them will thank you for their gifted membership. You guys all have 34 custom emojis at your disposal that you can use freely. Make sure that you do. Have fun with them. They're there to be had fun with, to use appropriately, but even more fun when used inappropriately. So make sure that you do use them. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, everybody. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Gerhard. And Gerhard, thank you so much for your massive generosity and gifting 20 memberships just now. And this is the PH AOA. returning from Bonaire, KLM flight 765, that was an A330. We have KLM flight 592 on the glide stop at KLM flight 598 that just now passed overhead. I think that means that the KLM arriving from Cape Town is going to go to the center runway, though the KLM arriving from Johannesburg is now number 2 and on the glide slope of Polderbaan. It is 11 o'clock right now, and that usually means the second runway for arrivals opens up. And that has happened. As you can see, the glide slope to center now also has airplanes on it. I think KLM flight 598 will go there as well. 592 is on the glide slope to the Polderbaan already. Before that is KLM flight 781. And that's arriving from BGI, and that is Bridgetown, which is not in and the airplane that was diverting has safely landed at Paris Orly. Curious if it will become known why they diverted, why they squawked. The pattern of going to the closest by airport, somewhat sizable airport, to me tells me it might be a medical reason. And we're running out of marijuana in the lounge. What? And I thought I had all the wheat that was growing here harvested, and I bought it up. I thought we had massive stocks of marijuana in our of wheat in our lounge. I'll get on it quickly. Thanks for the heads up there, Liwe. Do you want the buds, or do you also want edibles? If I am going to go to the coffee shop, might as well take inventory of what you guys need. Jamuis, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Steven, good morning. Stuart, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. Let's quickly turn around the camera because KLM flight 592 is going to land on Polderbaan soon. It is returning from Johannesburg, which is in South Africa. This is a KLM 777-300 10 hours and 41 minutes underway. While on the subject, I just remembered that I forgot to brief you guys there. The last stream, you will probably not be able to see the chat replay, and that is because, once again, I got a copyright strike. The angelic music. First time. And I wasn't able to see if the claim was correct or not because I couldn't find the song. That it was claimed to be a part of. So I couldn't falsify the claim. I think it was a false claim, but because I wasn't able to dispute it with certainty, I chose not to do that and just cut out the piece, the segment of the stream that contained that sound effect. But when you cut in Livestream replays, the consequence of that, unfortunately, is that the chat replay is lost. That has to do with timestamps not matching with the stream that's left anymore, and that is a consequence of it. So just to be on the safe side, I've also retired that sound effect. And again, we did have a new one this morning when the firefighters passed by.
I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter.
Good old fire starter. KLM flight 668 is arriving from Austin, Texas. 7879 Dreamliner. 10 years old. First flight October 2015. It's the Papa Hotel, Bravo Hotel, Alpha. 8 hours and 35 minutes on the way. 4,419 nautical miles. Next after this will be JetBlue. Flight 631 arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. neutral position of the flaperon. At least it looks like the right flaperon is in a neutral position. Or no, that's just the aileron being applied. Yeah. Okay. Thought for a moment that the flaperons were in neutral, but when you looked at the left, it was pointing up. Just as you know you're doing well when the copyright wankers come after you. Yeah, well, it's remarkable that all of a sudden in a short period of time, 2 times I got a claim. Once was for the what was it again? Oh, come on, what was the first one? That's the Korsakov acting up. I already forgot about the first one. That was the X-Files theme song, but that was of course unadulterated music. That angelic music is also unedited in the sense that it's not just a part of what you hear. It's probably just a snippet of a piece of music. Of course, that gets picked up more than, for instance, the vocal sound effects that I have, which are only taken out of songs without the rest. So that's not the song anymore, technically speaking. JetBlue arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. It's an A321neo, and I said it before here. Once again, you can see it. Those A321neos are very capable vortex producers. With relative high humidity, you often see flap tip vortices emanating from the flaps of A321neos. More so than with other airplane types. Marissa has to go. Time for me to go. Hope I will be able to join you again on Sunday. Sorry for being so absent lately. Just a lot of things going on. See you soon again. No need to apologize, Marissa. No need to apologize. Modding is voluntary. It's not. You're not expected to be here, nor are you expected to be here frequently or every time. Just pop in whenever your agenda allows you to. That's perfectly fine. Hopefully we'll see you again on Sunday. Thanks for stopping by, at least for today, and enjoy the rest of your day, Marissa. Take it easy and see you soon. Brandon says, it still surprises me to see such a small plane on such a long distance. Yeah, it is possible. I'm pretty sure there must have been people in Austria who were surprised to see a Dutch license plate Citroen C1 with me driving in it as well, because you often see bigger cars going on ski vacations, particularly if they are coming from the Netherlands. But it can be done, and so too can the nimble A321neo across the Atlantic. Then again, didn't Transavia also fly their 737s to Dubai? I mean, that's 6.5 hours of flying as well, for Emirates at least. And assuming that Transavia flies the same route, that would be a 6.5 hour flight on a 737 non-stop. The next airplane to the Polderbaan is a bit further away still. That's KLM flight 1042 arriving from Birmingham. There is a 777 going to the center runway. And I am wondering, I think it's out of our visual reach. Oh no. It's not. Well, so this is the current status quo. If the A380 were to arrive after 1 o'clock, and assuming that the center runway will be the secondary runway for arrivals between 1 and 2 as well later, if nothing changes, this is what we can expect to see from the A380 later. Yeah. Visibility this time of year, not the greatest. Still, better than nothing. Is that a bird sitting? Oh no. Thought for a moment that there was a bird sitting on the bench, but that's not the case. Hey, goeiedag. Nog niet bevroren?
Nee. Kan je het zo zien op beeld? Wat jij,
Wat zeg je?
is dat jouw beeld?
Ja, dat is wat ik nu ook naar YouTube stream.
Oké.
Ja.
Oh, leuk.
Ja. The gentleman who also came over for a brief chat earlier has returned. He's still here and hasn't gotten frozen fingers yet. This is KLM flight 1042, arriving from Birmingham, 737-900. And Nicholas informs us that the A380 is still expected 2 minutes to 1. So that is hopeful. At least it hasn't gotten worse. Hopefully it will get better. David Wolf is also back in the chat. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. CJ Sokel also in the chat. And Dan as well. Welcome to the show, one and all. Hope everybody is doing alright. It's pretty cold out here and visibility is not that great, but you're still watching AMS Live and we are here at the Polderbaan. If you joined us only just now, then you may have missed the only 747 in today's show, Cathay Cargo, which landed here around 10:30, arriving from Dubai World Center. The Emirates A380 is still underway and that is expected around 1 o'clock. Earlier it was expected after 1 o'clock. Now lately the ETA has been a couple of minutes to 1 and that makes it a potential candidate for the Polderbaan after all. Because only around 1 o'clock will the secondary runway for arrivals open. So the more before 1 its estimated time of arrival turns out to be, the better our chances of seeing it here. Paul is also back in the chat. Mr. Biker, good to see you again. Welcome back, Paul. Hope all is well. This is EasyJet arriving from Geneva. It's an A319, 1 hour 17 minutes underway. Austrian registered OELQM, Lima Quebec Mike. That's a 16-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in February 2009. The gentleman that came up to me just now is walking further to the north once again. He was wondering if what he could see on my laptop in the laptop tent was my footage, which I confirmed to him. That's what I am filming for you guys and what you can see over the internet. Hope you guys are still enjoying the show. I'm still having great fun out here. Hope you guys are too. If you are enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, consider adding to the likes if you want to help us reach more people in the future. The wind is blowing from the east and while we have a moment to spare, let's have a quick look on the METAR, the visualization of the METAR. This is old. In the ticker it is constantly renewed 2 times per hour. The weather gets updated. We have a low ceiling, 500 feet. We have low visibility at ground level, only 3.5 kilometers. It's still 1 degree Celsius, just above zero. The wind is blowing just a tad south of directly east, which is why they are landing on the Polderbaan with mostly crosswind and a little bit of headwind, 9 knots of wind, low pressure, and scattered clouds. It's not going to change anytime soon, although I am curious to see what the satellite looks like. Let's see, because people were reporting sunshine elsewhere in the Netherlands, and you can see in the east, in the north, it's clear. Zeeland as well, Belgium as well, Limburg as well. We are over here, right where all the shit is. Doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. Looking on flight radar, I can see that the Orange Pride is preparing to go to Bangalore and that the Transavia Retro is on its way back to Amsterdam. Its estimated time of arrival is 12:30. Emirates is flying above Hungary, still with an ETA of 12:58. Next airplane to arrive here on the Polderbaan, KLM flight 1030, arriving from Chester. 737-800. Embraer 175 after that, arriving from Norwich. Wietse is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Wietse. If you are hearing a coot, that is because Chris is over there swimming, doing morning cardio. And this is KLM flight 1030, arriving from Chester. And there is the police on the cycling path. Right, so yeah, as you can see over here, it's hazy, it's cloudy. Small world that we live in. And Chris is over here, Chris Coot. I think it's his buddy that we are hearing. Yep, Greep Nest Stomper, indeed. Scottish Ernie says, looks like Scottish weather there today. Is that so, mate? Do you guys have the same weather? Yeah, that's what you get this time of year, eh? Hopefully it'll get more summery pretty soon, but you always have to be patient, sit it out, wait it out. Honda says it's sunny in West Overijssel, so yeah. The sun is shining in parts of the Netherlands, but not in this part of the Netherlands, unfortunately. Maybe later in the day. It was looking like maybe some of the openness that was over Belgium is drifting further to the north, but it only is moving very slowly by the looks of it. Rob Lerber is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. And Ricardo is there over in 20 minutes. Nice, looking forward to Ricardo. Ricardo and his volunteer are coming to Amsterdam Schiphol today. What a day to be coming to Schiphol, Ricardo. It is cold still. Hope you are dressed warm for the occasion. Air France flight 1500 is up next. That's a Bombardier C-Series 300 arriving from Paris. 47 minutes flight time, nominal flight duration. The Verhupnes. That's Foxtrot Hotel Papa November Zulu. That's a brand new A220. The first flight was in October. Last October. October 2025. Flying parallel to it to the center runway is KLM flight 1850. Arriving from Munich. That's an Embraer 175. And Martin Air says in Brabant it is sunny but chilly. But at least if the sun is shining and you can sit in a part where the wind is not coming, you can get some free vitamin D. Another butt shot. And that is one of the 34 custom emojis that you guys can use if you are a member. I'll drink to that. Paul says no sun here, just rain, lots of rain. And Wolfgang unfortunately has to go, unexpected work. Well, thanks for joining, Wolfgang. Take it easy and hopefully see you again later in the weekend. So no summery weather in Yorkshire as well then, by the sound of it. Okay, there is another airplane on the glide slope to Polderbaan, but that's still pretty far to the north. That's KLM flight 954 arrived from Newcastle, an E2 Embraer. The next airplane that is arriving and should become visible over here will be going to the center runway, and that is KLM flight 1198 arriving from Oslo. Yeah. There's not even a scale of chimney smoke to be seen. Unfortunately. If you joined us only just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are here at Polderbaan, runway 18 right, together with the center runway now. 2 runways open for arrivals. If you joined us only later, then you may have missed the arrival of the Cathay 7478 that landed here on Polderbaan around 10:30. We're waiting for the Emirates A380 that is expected around 1 o'clock. Last time we checked, its ETA was a few minutes to 1, and that makes it a candidate for the Polderbaan. Assuming that Polderbaan will still be the primary runway for arrivals between 11:40 and 1 o'clock, when only 1 runway for inbound traffic will be open. Right now there are 2 open, and the center runway is the secondary runway. That's from 11 until approximately 11:40, so we're halfway through that stint. Retro Transavia is also returning from Barcelona and should be here, when did I say? I think it was around 12:30, if I recall correctly. The Firefighters already did their patrol round. They did that early in the show and we were live already at the time. They had a new, they received a new batch of horn sounds, so they honked. This is what things look like in the tower. At least this is a tower that we can see. The main tower, which should be somewhere over there behind the trees. I haven't been able to spot today. Says something about visibility. 3.5 kilometers on ground level is the visibility. Misty. Temperature hasn't risen above 1 degree Celsius yet. And with the wind, that is pretty cool. The next airplane should become visible any moment now. KLM flight 954 arriving from Newcastle, an E2 Embraer 195. I think there the lights just became visible. Yep, there it is. 58 minutes the flight time. This is the Papa Hotel November X-Ray Charlie. 4-year-old airplane, first flight March 2021. And it seems that we've crossed through 400 likes, according to Maria. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to hear you guys are enjoying the show. Adding to the likes will help to bring in more people. So if you are enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, consider adding a like. If you want to help us reach more people in the future, it helps greatly. Peter says, in Dutch, nice and chilly with that easterly wind. Indeed, Peter. It is an easterly wind. It's been blowing now for over a week now. And that has brought about cool temperatures. And I'm not sure if it's going to change anytime soon. I think we can leave the shorts in the drawers for the time being. At least the the summery shorts. Dan asks, do you keep track of all the planes that you see or not? No, I don't. I don't. All right. The next arriving airplane for Polderbaan is flying base north of Heemskerk. It's KLM flight 749, which is returning from Cartagena in Colombia. That's looking to become the next arrival here on the Polderbaan. KLM flight 1292 is arriving from Billund, but that should go to the center runway still. Piotrek is in our chat and says hello. Oh, hello Piotrek, welcome to the channel, mate. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are many people watching. Together they know quite a lot, and they will be happy to try to answer any questions that you might have for us. In the meantime, Paul Don is also back in the chat, and he is celebrating 32 months without an accompanying text with it. Mate! Paul Don, thank you so much for your continued support. 32 months, that makes you well above average long-standing, a well above average long-standing member. And I thank you wholeheartedly for your long-standing support. I hope that everything in the lounge is still and has been to your liking. If that's not the case, don't be shy, hit me up, let me know what I can do to improve things for you and the other members. Hope you'll stick around for many more months to come, Paul. If not as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. Belt is tuning in from northeast Groningen, Woldendorp, where it is -2 with over 10 centimeters of snow. That's a big difference from what it is over here. 0 centimeters snow and 1 degree above zero. Koos Koning, goedemorgen and welcome to the channel, mate. Peter says that after the weekend we should get higher temperatures. Hadi Kars, goedemorgen. And somebody celebrated 26 months of membership, but the message got retracted, so I don't know who it was. Hey, no need to apologize, Paul. No need to apologize. But if you have something to say, by all means, feel free to do so. Patrick says Billund will go for Polderbaan. I see it. It's as if the Polderbaan has become the only runway for inbound traffic already. Which might well be the case since it isn't very busy in the air by the looks of it. So might be that the parallel arrivals have come to an end already. If that's the case, good news for us. Means that everything approaching will be coming to the Polderbaan. Kars says, good morning, boy, and good luck in the cold. Thank you so much, Kars. Definitely will need that. I'm dressed warmly, but still, despite everything, it is a bit chilly. Still, could be worse. And if I am really getting cold, I can always do an off-camera airplane dance, or do some burpees or stuff on the tarmac here. Got the place to myself. Shadow Prepper is back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Yeah, it's shitty weather here. Shitty walk, take order, please. Oh no, that's something else. Alan also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. It's the weekend. Absolutely. It's always vacation if you have the right mindset. And weekend, for most people, starts on Friday. If not at the end of the day, then already at the beginning of the day, with the Netherlands being a European champion in working part-time. So quite a lot of people whose weekends already begin after the Thursday has ended. In the meantime, our next airplane is KLM Flight 749, arriving from Cartagena in Colombia, and that's right next to... There it is, 787-10 Dreamliner. 8 hours 25 minutes it has flown to get here, the Papa Hotel Bravo Kilo Hotel, and that is a 5-year-old specimen of an airplane, first flight May 2020. In the meantime, Paul Don just now gifted a membership as well. Not only is he celebrating a long-standing membership himself, he just now gifted a membership to Speedy Tellier. That's it. And he is also in the chat saying thanks already to Paul. Whoa, welcome Speed Tellier. Have fun with the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal. Massive big thanks to Paul for your generosity. Another member, courtesy of you. Enjoy the membership. 34 custom emojis at your disposal. At everybody's disposal who is a member. Make sure to use those custom emojis, guys. I urge you all to use them and want to encourage you to use them as creatively as possible. The more inappropriately you can use them, the better. Jeff already went ahead last week with some very creative use of Transavia's logo. And that's a good example for all of you. Hey Renaat, goedemorgen. Sarah, good morning and welcome back. Apple Flaps, good morning. Apple Flaps doesn't have weekend yet. Still a full day of work ahead. Ooh. NJ is tuning in from Assen. Welcome to the show, one and all. As you can see, it is visibility is rather poor, and I've missed the airplane that is about to touch down here. That's the one from Billund that I thought was going to go to the center runway, but turned out to be directed to Polderbaan already. Everything arriving from the east is going to the Polderbaan seemingly, so parallel arrivals has ended already. I hope they're not going to begin with parallel landings again early today, because that would mean that we still are at risk of missing the A380. Sarah is working on getting her passport. She wants to travel over to me. Someday surprise you. Well, be careful. Don't be too sudden with your surprise, because I am on high alert due to recent events. If you surprise me and you scare me, I cannot be held accountable if I might act all defensively. Please announce your surprise visit ahead of time. But that would be great. How have you been doing with all the weather over there in Boston, Sarah? I saw it on the news that you guys were having a lot of snow. Hopefully no power outages and no loss of central heating. And a van on a cycling path. Werkverkeer, work traffic. Slowing down at the excrement bridge. I wonder if they're due to do some work over here on the excrement bridge then, or if they will continue further north. Reason I'm wondering is that they do seem to be working in the vicinity of the pipes over there as well. They've deposited sand on a couple of occasions already. They've also placed more fence work now over there, as you can see. That wasn't there before, so I'm thinking they might actually start doing something in relation to those pipes that are all leading to the excrement bridge over here. Lots of snow, more to come Sunday. Hope it's not going to be too bad for you guys. What's going on with the weather lately? Remarkable how temperature extremes, not necessarily warm weather, but also extreme cold weather seems to be more prevalent lately. The work van has turned around and is now coming back. There's also the man that I struck a conversation with twice already with his big camera and lens. Now, either they went too far and needed to be at the excrement bridge, or they might not have to be here and will continue further back to the parking lot that's behind me. We'll see. Either way, if you guys are enjoying Embraers, then this is happy hour time for you guys. I am seeing 3 Embraers from KLM back to back, 3 different types of Embraer as well. So once again, if you have trouble discerning the different airplane types, let's start with this. This is the E2 Embraer 195. It has big ass engines. It has no wingtips. Or, well, it does have wingtips. It doesn't have, what are they called again? Oh, come on. Oh, we used to have lengthy discussions about how to call them. Oh, come on. Anyway, this is an E2 Embraer. It has a carrying cabin. That doesn't necessarily identify it as one, because there are also E2s that have none. They have big engines. Winglets. How could I have forgotten? They don't have any winglets. Just straight wings. Wannabe 777. Allegedly, if you water them well, they will grow into fully fledged 777s one day. That's E2 Embraers for you. And then there are 2 more airplane types of Embraer that KLM has in their fleet. Embraer 190s and 175s. And those 2 are a bit harder to discern from one another. It's easy to discern them from E2 Embraers because they do have winglets. Over here, when you look at the winglets, you can see they are outward facing and relatively tall. They're more outward than upward facing, and that's the telltale sign of an Embraer 175. Of course, when you see it from the side, you will also see that the fuselage is relatively short. But these winglets are relatively tall. They are relatively more outward facing than upward facing, or approximately equal. Now they're more outward facing, and with the next airplane, which is an Embraer 190, you will see the difference. Those winglets are more vertically positioned versus the wing, and not as tall as those that you saw just now. Graham is also back. Bewat Sabir is also back. And Piotrek asks, what did you think out Airbus idea? I mean, he opened new program A220 500 and 600. First aircraft 180 passengers, second 220. Okay. Airbus is working on longer models of the A220, if I understood it correctly. I didn't know, but it sounds like a great idea. I like the airplane fuselage, and I'm pretty sure if you lengthen it, it will only look smarter. Should probably work out. Go for a mini A350-1000. And here's the Embraer 190. Fuselage obviously a bit more lengthy. than the previous ones, but the winglets are what makes it easiest to discern. You can see that these are more vertical and less outward facing than with the Embraer 175 before it. Easiest way to discern them. And of course, if it doesn't have winglets but big engines, it's an E2. Over here, a thin patch of clouds and a glimpse of the sun. And if it is thin enough, if it will get thinner again, maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to see sunspots on the surface of the sun. You need the right density. And when I was zooming in and pointing the camera towards the sun, it was looking like there was a moment when the brightness was right and the cloud density was just the right density, but right now, once again, doesn't look to be the case. Iceland Air Flight 500 up next. Is that an A321neo? Yeah, A321neo. Have we seen this before? It's usually 767, 757 or MAX 8 Boeing. And not an A321neo, or... This is brand new. The airplane began flying in May 2025, so I'm not sure. Have we seen this before? Not sure that we have. Squeak, 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 squeaky brakes. Hey, what's that on the bridge? Vehicle on the bridge. Oh, that's the excavator. Excavator is working on the bridge over there. Sarah wonders, why don't you fly to Boston? I would be happy to assist you to get your permit and be your co-host if you want. I've been a co-host before. Oh, you're more than welcome to be my co-host one day if we ever get to meet, Sarah. No worries, absolutely, that would be great fun. Well, maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I will come over. There's plenty of airports worthwhile visiting in the United States. My reasoning thus far always has been, if I want to go to other airports, I first need an audience that is also worthwhile traveling the world for. I think the channel is not yet big enough, and I hope it will grow into something more big one day. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's worthwhile going abroad to other airports yet with the audience I currently have. Considering that if you look at the statistics, most of my content, of course, being live streams, those almost always only get viewed in the first few days after the stream took place. So if you want to give a lot of people the opportunity to see it, you also have to have an audience, because 1 week after you've streamed something, most people will never look at a stream again. Unlike with not live content, which of course, if it is interesting, will continue to attract views long after the uploading has finished. Iberia and the One World livery is arriving from Madrid. Our next arrival, an A320neo, flight 731, 2 hours and 3 minutes underway. Wat zei je? Ik zit heel goed ingepakt met hem. Dus
Ben je te vinden op YouTube?
ik ben zeker te bevinden op YouTube, absoluut.
Ja?
EWS Live.
Oké.
Op de pet, dat is mijn kanaal.
En we zijn live.
Ja, als je daarop
Ik zal
zoekt,
even kijken.
ga je me ongetwijfeld vinden.
Ja, oké.
En voel je vrij om te interacteren met het publiek ook in de chat. Er zijn een hoop mensen die aan het kijken zijn. Altijd gezellig.
Komt er nog iets leuks vandaan? Of,
De A380 gaat heel misschien hier komen, want die komt de laatste tijd dat we keken was het een paar minuten voor 1. En om 1 uur gaat er een tweede baan open voor arrivals, dus daar heb je kans dat hij naar de centerbaan gaat. De laatste keer dat we checkten was die een paar minuten voor 1, dus je hebt kans dat die zo meteen over een uur en een kwartier hier komt. Transavia Retro die komt geloof ik om 12:30. Die is onderweg uit Barcelona. Die komt waarschijnlijk gewoon hier op de Polderbaan. Dat is voor nu eventjes het belangrijkste. Ik zag wel dat er vanmorgen al 3 747's vanuit Miami waren opgestegen. Maar die komen pas om 3 uur, 4 uur, einde van de dag. Dan ben ik alweer weg ook. Maar die komen nog wel. Ik zal even kijken op Flightradar. While we are, I'm once again speaking to the man who has been around for the entire morning, and we were wondering. He was wondering if something interesting was still underway, and I was saying that Transavia Retro is underway. Yeah, 12:29, 12:29 is now the estimated time of arrival. Just west of Paris, it is flying right now, so that should be here pretty soon. And the Emirates A380 now has an estimated time of arrival of 12:56. So. It's the likelihood of it landing here it grows by the hour. Dat zou zeker mooi zijn, absolutely. Ja, het is wel de moeite waard, maar het is ook wel weer koud. Je hebt alleen een spijkerbroek aan. Ik heb verwarmde handschoenen, ik weet niet. Ja, precies. Back to the car. Ja. 12:30 en 1 uur. Ja, leuk. Oh, leuk. Ja, als je een subscriber bent, dan kan je nog niet meteen in onze community section posten. Je moet een week subscriber zijn. Dat is om spammers tegen te houden. Maar foto's mag je altijd uploaden. Zeker, leuk. Kom je van ver of... Groningen. Not exactly around the corner. We hebben ook een moderator die komt uit Friesland. Die komt ook af en toe hier naartoe. Dat is ook wel leuk. So, for those of you who don't speak Dutch, I was talking to the gentleman who is still standing here, and I was wondering if he is coming from far away. He's from Groningen, from the northern, one of the two northerly most provinces of the Netherlands, where it is still white and snowy, probably. En hier ligt niks. Nee, het is volgens mij echt Groningen, Friesland en Drenthe, waar dat is echt consistent sneeuw. Hey, is goed. Tot straks. The gentleman's taking a break. He will be back again come the arrival of the Transavia Retro. He said he also took a picture of me standing here. I said to him, because he also said he was going to upload it. I said, well, that of course you're more than welcome to, but you do have to be a subscriber for a week first to be able to upload content to the community section, just to keep out any potential spammers. Alrighty. Here's our next airplane. It is Sun Express arriving from Turkey, from Izmir. Flight 944, max 8737, 3 hours 19 minutes on the way. Brand new airplane. That means less than a year old. First flight was in June 2025. Qatar 777 freighter is now third to arrive, and I also see a NetJets BizJet that is flying off the coast. And I'm wondering, will that be landing on runway 22? Or will it land on the Polderbaan? Can you guys see what runway it has been assigned to on the Arrow, the Casper Arrow flight tracker? Robo 0860 says we will want to see some sun again. It's so hopeless, this weather. Yeah, you're right. I prefer cold weather with sunshine over gray weather that is warmer any day of the year. Then again, you have to accept the cards you're dealt in terms of weather, unfortunately. Next up will be an Embraer 175 arriving from Teesside or Darlington. 56 minutes on the way. Papa Hotel Echo X-Ray Hotel. And after that, the Qatar triple. NetJets Bombardier Challenger 650 is arriving from Paris. It is looking like they are directing it towards the Polderbaan. If it were to go to runway 22, they probably would have already... Hey, yeah, as I thought. Paul confirming what I suspected. I was looking more at Flight Radar than on an Embraer 175 that we missed its landing of. Still in time for the butt shot. NetJets is going to the Polderbaan, that's nice. Hey Philippe, goedemorgen. And Diana is also back. What did I miss? Not much. Except the Hindenburg, is what Liewe would say. Diana says, what a huge difference in weather type. Here the sun is abundantly shining with an all blue sky. Where in the Netherlands might you be residing right now, Diana? Well, I showed the weather, the Bioradar website and the satellite footage, and you could see there is a difference. Maybe later in the day we are also going to see some sunshine over here, but right now it has been and still continues to be misty and grey. 50 Shades of Grey, that's our invention. That's the Dutch. We thought of that shit. And this is Qatar flight 8207 arriving from Doha. Still have to make the Doha sound effect. Hey Veronique, goedemorgen. Veronique is still recovering from surgery on her arm. Hopefully you're recovering well. Take it easy. And welcome back. 1777 has landed. Another one will soon. After an A321neo from KLM will have landed first. KLM flight 1004, which is arriving from London Heathrow. "46 minutes on the way." Big picture wise, if you look around, on occasion you might think the clouds are breaking, and every now and then it does look like you can almost see a patch of blue sky, but this is where the sun should be in the sky, and over here it's still very cloudy and nebulous. In that respect, not much has changed since the beginning of the stream, except that maybe it has gotten just a tad brighter, with the sun now higher above the horizon. This is KLM flight 1004 arriving from London Heathrow. And 47 minutes on the way. Oh, sorry Brandon.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
That's a very Pavlovian reaction there, Brandon. It's nice that you guys are conditioned to an extent that if you don't hear the sound effect, you'll start asking for it. Yay, psychology. People are walking up here. Could that be Ricardo and his volunteer? I'm wondering. I think it might be Ricardo and the volunteer who has joined him. Right, well, Vista Jet. Ricardo was already announcing. yeah. So Ricardo is underway. Ricardo and his volunteer are coming this way already. There they are. I am waving to them, but they don't seem to be seeing it. Let's turn around the camera quickly. Here we go. This is KLM flight 606 arriving from San Francisco. That's a 777-300. Flight time has been 10 hours and 2 minutes. And this is the Papa Hotel Bravo Victor Delta, the BVD. It used to be Marissa's beloved back when it was still in the SkyTeam livery, which it was until somewhere in 2025. Not sure exactly when they repainted it, but there you go. 16 years old already, first flight August 2009, the BVD, once again a dime in a dozen, 777-300. And it seems that we've crossed through 500 likes. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to hear you guys are enjoying the show, and if you are enjoying but haven't done so already, consider adding to the likes if you want to help us reach more people in the future. Next up, 2 BizJets on the glide slope to the Polderbaan. First up, NetJets with a Bombardier Challenger 650. That's arriving from Paris, 55 minutes on the way. 3-year-old airplane, first flight November 2022. Next after that will be VistaJet, and that is a nice silvery airplane. Look at the picture. Pretty to see, arriving from Nuremberg in Germany. That's a Bombardier Challenger 350. First up, NetJets. Where is it? I'm starting to get a cold hand. My right hand needs a new... My right hand glove needs a new battery. We're still waiting for the NetJets Bombardier to become visible. Shouldn't take too long. Long enough for me to be able to replace the battery of my heated glove. Turn it on again. I can see the lights of this BizJet. There they are. There it is. Arriving from Paris. 56 minutes on the way. Let's have a closer look at it. Bombardier Challenger 650, 3 years old, relatively new airplane. First flight was in November 2022. Oh, and now my other glove has turned off as well. Okay, more battery replacements in a moment. One of the exceptions to the rule, usually the reversers on BizJets are those buckets that flap back. And this has reversers that look like it's bigger airplanes. Hey Ricardo, goedemorgen. Ik dacht al dat jij dat was. Leuk. Hey, er komt nog een BizJet aan, jongens. Er is een BizJet geland and another one will land next. And Ricardo has arrived Goedemorgen. Hi, Ricardo boy. Hoi, ik ben boy. Goedemorgen. Zo zie je me wat beter. Goed ingepakt. Het is echt goed koud als je hier stilstaat. Ik ga eventjes... Ja, hier is... Nou, the next airplane is not yet visible. The next airplane will be VistaJet, a very beautiful silver airplane. Bombardier Challenger 350, an hour on the way from Nuremberg. Let me quickly... Yeah, there it is already. My heated gloves, batteries wear out simultaneously. And that's number 6. Right. Airplane is about to land here. Let's have a look. All silver and streamlined. 4-year-old airplane hailing from 2022. The 9 Hotel Victor Charlie uniform. And this does have the buckets that I was referring to earlier, like most bizjets do. And we'll get a butt shot of this as well. It will vacate via the first exit, which we are directly in line with. Since I was in the process of replacing my batteries, I am now bare-handedly filming. Let's quickly continue with putting in the battery in the cuff. Ja, ik heb dit echt nodig. Mijn handen worden anders, zegt in no time worden ze ijs en ijskoud. So, now the gloves are back on. And Ricardo has arrived here as well. Alles goed?
Ja.
Hoe was het weer in Wateringen vanmorgen? Want hier is het hetzelfde als hier. In andere delen van het land schijnt het zonnetje gewoon te schijnen met volop zon. Right. Back to the regular traffic that Schiphol sees so regularly. This is KLM with an Embraer 190 arriving from London City. Jägermeister fingers, Bas says. Yeah. Frozen popsicles. Just in 2 seconds. In the meantime, a lot of people have joined. James, good afternoon. Mr. F, good afternoon. Maxime, good afternoon. Welcome to the show, AMS, Plane Spotting, and all others who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are here at Polderbaan, where once again it looks like the clouds are getting thinner now and then. Elsewhere in the country, allegedly the sun is shining. I am actually seeing a bit of blue there. That's the first time I'm seeing it. So I think I can also see that the sun is shining over there. So slowly but surely. Yeah, this is not the warmest day. Ja, en dan heb je niet iets van een muts of zo ook op? Oh. Shit. The volunteer who came with Ricardo is may I show you on camera, or Ricardo is dressed warmly. He is dressed with
Hello guys.
Hey, it's Ricardo on the right and the volunteer on the left. The volunteer is Martino, and Martino is wearing no hand, no gloves, no hat, no nothing. So you are slowly starting to freeze over here with the cold. Ricardo is dressed more warmly. He came prepared.
Ja, ik was 9 uur bij de topwatch.
Ah, oké.
Dan was ik even iets later.
Ah, geen probleem. Beter niet haasten. Gewoon rustig aandoen.
Wat gaat daar de zin? Zo, dat wordt heel zwaar geluid.
Ja. We're hearing the sounds from the departures of runway 09 coming this way. They're speculating if it was a heavy. This is KLM flight 1710 arriving from Luxembourg. And I kid you not, I see a yellow orb. Can we do some sunspot spotting? I think if there were sunspots on the sun's surface, or are there? No, they're not. It's looking like there are no sunspots on the sun right now. Or are there? No. There are just spots on my camera screen, but not on the sun's surface, not on the visible part. Maybe elsewhere there are. Diana says hi to you, and Martino is already going back to the car probably to warm up. Yeah, and rightly so. We're standing there exposed to the wind, and that makes it really cold. Yeah, people underestimate how cold it can get here, but you're in an open field. There's always wind, and yeah, if you don't move, if you're not walking or cycling or doing exercise or working, you can get cold really quickly. Nice to meet Ricardo. Always in the chat, always saying good morning, how are you? Always reporting what the weather is like in Wateringen.
Yeah. You can hear us.
Yeah. You have the stream on your phone, and you can hear me talk with a few seconds of delay. Chris Coot is walking over the water. Wanna be Jesus. Good sound, yeah. The wind is blowing from the east, so everything that you can hear at the main platform area going on, you can hear here really well. GE90s from 777s being started, you can hear that on a day like today really well. Last week when I was here, when the airplanes were landing, you could also smell the jet fuel, the exhaust gases.
Oh yeah, I smell. Yeah.
Not always, but when the wind is blowing from the east, like it still is, then you can. My nose is always runny, so I don't smell that much. Whenever temperatures drop below 15 degrees or so, my nose starts running. We have a Dreamliner up next, KLM flight 622, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. That is a 787-10 Dreamliner. 7 hours and 12 minutes the flight time. The Papa Hotel Bravo Kilo Golf. And that is a 6-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in January 2020. Pete Alden is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. And it was a 767 that the sound was from. That just departed. And Jerome B says gevoelstemperatuur -3. So a subjective temperature of -3 with the wind. That does seem accurate. Jari0408, goedemiddag. And welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. I'm joined here by Ricardo Magerij. He is joining us from Wateringen on a very cold and windy day. The weather is not that great, but the sun is doing its best to shine through the clouds, and every now and then, yeah, we can see it. When we zoom in to see if there are sunspots on the surface, the answer is negative. Right now, no sunspots visible on the part that we can see at least. However, look at this. This is definitely blue sky just north of us. We also need it a bit south of us because that is where the sun is at. And if it is blue over there, we'll get some sunshine and warm up a little. Hey Martien, goedemiddag. And Gerrit is signing off. See you later, Gerrit. Nicholas is giving us an update about the A380. And the A380 is now expected at 12:54. Oh, welke heb je gezien?
Nou ja, ik heb die in de kast.
Oh, in de kast. Welke was dat?
Die 800 en dan die heb ik erop gezet.
Ja?
Die heeft bij de staart is nieuw.
Oh, je bedoelt ja, met de ribbons bij de start. Ja, ja, vet. Ja, de meeste zijn nog gewoon de oude, hè?
Ja, ik heb de oude orange
Ja?
en de nieuwe orange.
Nice. Welke vind je het mooiste? Which of the Als je moet kiezen.
Ja, het grote Airbus.
Nee, maar welke van de Orange Prime? Want je hebt de oude en de nieuwe, dus de Gradient en de nieuwe. Jij vindt de nieuwe mooier? Oké.
Ja, maar die is ook nog afgewerkt.
Ja, ik vind juist dat die overgang van oranje naar blauw vind ik er leuk aan. Dat vond ik er juist leuk aan. Dus ik vind die nieuwe ietsjes minder. Ik vind hem ook nog steeds mooi. It's interesting, an interesting point of view. Ricardo says that he likes the new Orange Pride better than the old one because of the way that basically the trim. There's a clear delineation between the orange part and the blue part, and that is really tidy, and that is what he likes about it. I said I like the Gradient a little better because of the gradual transition. But the A380 is expected still a few minutes to 1, and that makes it a candidate for the Polderbaan. Fingers crossed, hopefully it will come true. Wouter is asking until when will you be streaming? Well, at least until the A380 will have landed. I'm not sure if there is much interesting immediately after that. So it will depend a little on what will follow. In the meantime, Vueling is landing over here. Mom's favorite, and the dot is still in place. Rodney South is also back in the chat. 3 degrees Fahrenheit over here with 10 inches of snow. That is quite a lot of snow and a low temperature. Erik also back in the chat. Good to see you, Erik. And Transavia Retro is above Zeeland. So that's over the southwest of the Netherlands and is coming this way. In the meantime, the Embraer 175 is arriving from Leeds. My nose is getting really runny, so let me invite the elephant in the room. Just briefly. That should make things sound a bit less stuffy. And in the meantime, I am having a small sip of vodka. Sure, I don't dehydrate. Embraer 175 arriving from Leeds up next. Here it is. Look at the winglets and you should be able to immediately recognize it as an Embraer 175. The winglets are a bit bigger than on the Embraer 190, they are more outward than upward facing. Hey, what's this? What in the world? It's sunshine! Insert angelic music. De A380 zit boven Duitsland, above Germany. So they are also underway. They're all coming. And with a little bit of luck, the A380 is going to land on this runway. How sweet would that be? Erik wonders if it is raining over here. No, it is still dry. It's not going to rain here. And actually the sun is doing its best now to start shining. You can see over there, the sun is out. You can also see more blue in the sky, so things are rapidly opening up. Also immediately overhead, it is definitely opening up here. Those are E2s or A220s. And this is an Embraer 190, no need to look On Flight Radar you can see it here, the winglets already tell the story. Another airplane in the collection of Ricardo. How many airplane models do you have, Ricardo? 50. 50. How many cabinets do you have for all those airplanes?
Ik heb 2 grote kasten.
2 grote kasten, 2 big cabinets. Awesome. Our moderator Rick Meester also has a lot of airplanes. He also has 2 cabinets. He posted some of his pictures in the community section. If you want, you're welcome to post your collection of if you have some nice pictures. I'm pretty sure that people would be interested to see. 50 model airplanes, nice.
Je kan me volgen via Instagram.
And also on Instagram, nice. Well, by all means, share a link in the community section, Ricardo. Feel free to do so. Next up will be EasyJet. EasyJet arriving from Northern Ireland, from Belfast, flight 23051, and that is an A320. The flight time 1 hour and 14 minutes. There it is. 11 years old. It's the GASWY, GASWY. Golf Echo Zulu Whiskey Yankee. That's an 11-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in August 2014. Yeah, so you can see that the sun is actually starting to shine more and more. I can actually see a contrail remnant right behind the landing airplane.
Ik ga de temperatuur naar 8.
Wat zei je?
De temperatuur gaat volgende naar 8.
The temperature is going to 8 degrees next week. That's a lot warmer than it is going to be today. In the meantime, a warm welcome to everybody who has joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Polderbaan, runway 18 right, where earlier this morning we saw a 7478 land. That was Cathay Cargo around 10:30. We're awaiting the Retro Transavia, which should be landing here in less than 15 minutes from now. It is already in Dutch airspace. Probably has been assigned to the Polderbaan already, since that will be the only runway open until 1 o'clock. Hopefully, shortly before 1 o'clock, the Emirates A380 will also land here on this runway. Last time that we checked, the ETA was a few minutes to 1, so that is good news. That should make it a candidate for this runway, although here at Schiphol, nothing is ever 100% certain. Nick Pronk is reporting that the Transavia Retro is above the The Hague area. Still above the clouds, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll see it upon landing. Ying Cathay is also back. Good day, mate. Welcome back. Hope all is well. And once again, hand on the desk. They all keep their hand at the same location. I imagine it is quite sticky. In the meantime, EasyJet arriving from London Luton, flight 22515. Another A320, the guest-to-be GEZTB, 16 years old, first flight March 2009.
Deze jongen.
After that, another A320 from Shamrock. Aer Lingus flight 604, arriving from Dublin in Ireland. Next after that, an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Bergen. And next after that will be a 777-200 from KLM, arriving from Rio de Janeiro. Look away if you are Luton intolerant. This next airplane might give you the cramps. Arriving from Celiac City. That has been flying for 46 minutes now. And another airplane taking off. Quite clearly audible. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are many people watching and together they know a lot and will happily try to answer your questions. Plus, most of the people in the chat are also friendly. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot. And another butt shot coming in. Hope you guys are still enjoying the show. I know I am having a great time despite the cold. If you are enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, consider leaving a like if you want to help us reach more people in the future. There's still blue but also a lot of cloudiness, so every now and then the sun peeps through, but right now most of the sky, particularly behind me where the sun is also located in the sky, is still cloudy. But things are improving slowly but surely. Hey Kieran, goedemiddag. Robert, good afternoon. And welcome to the show everybody else who has joined. Aer Lingus is next. Shamrock, flight 604, another A320, arriving from Dublin. Flight time 1 hour and 7 minutes. It's the EIFNJ, Foxtrot November Juliet. The airplane is 18 years old. Its first flight was in June 2007. No cabin cabin in the back of this airplane. Years old already. First flight June 2007. Next up an E2 Embraer 195, and after that we are going to see a 777-200ER. Efteling Annie checking in to see the A380. Well, you are well in advance then, but you are perfectly in time for the Retro Transavia, which is also approaching. Actually, should be flying right next to us. Retro Transavia arriving from Barcelona, flying over the coast to the north. Now, unfortunately, the visibility to the west is not that great, so even though we can see it on flight radar, we cannot see it in actuality. It will become visible soon enough, though, so stay tuned for the Retro Transavia. This is an E2 Embraer 195, arriving from Bergen. 1 hour and 24 minutes the flight time has been. You can see this one comes equipped with a cabin cabin. This is the Papa Hotel November X-Ray Foxtrot, the NXF. That's a 4-year-old airplane already. First flight was in October 2021. Hello there! Away from the first officer. And I wave back. And Yin Cafe is celebrating 16 months of membership. It's simple, just say thank you so much for your work. You're welcome, Yin. Thank you so much for your support as a long-standing member. Hope that everything in the lounge is still to your liking. And thank you so much as well for modding. Hope that everything is still to your liking, both in the lounge and as a mod. If in any of the two is no longer to your liking, do hit me up. You know how to reach me. If anything can be improved in the lounge, let me know and I'll get on it. Hope you'll stick around as a valued member and moderator for many more months to come, Yin. Guten Tag, Dino der Allerrechte Saurier. Tuning in from Münster, from near Münster, Osnabrück Airport. Sylvie, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined. Next up is a 777-200ER KLM flight 706 arriving from Rio de Janeiro. There it is. And Martin, just back from nipping out for a walk as the sun was shining. Now to be back at abysmal, gloomy, doomy Schiphol. Welcome back. 10 hours and 36 minutes underway from Rio de Janeiro, a well-known city in Asia. Mooi, mooi. Top. Ja, is het geluid goed of moet het een beetje hoger of lager? Als het goed is het mooi gebalanceerd. Nou, dankjewel. Ja, dankjewel. Ik doe mijn best. The gentleman from Groningen is also back. And just in time, the Retro Transavia is almost here. And the A380 is not yet in Dutch airspace, but it's still expected shortly before 1 o'clock. So fingers crossed.
Dan hoop ik het ook gezien.
Ja, en terecht. Koud genoeg. Hey, en de volgende keer als je weer in de buurt bent, kom even langs en gedag zeggen, hè?
Ja, tuurlijk. Ja, is goed. Maar je zwaaide net, dan kennen ze jou.
Wat zeg je?
Kennen ze jou hier?
Nou ja, ze zien dat er in ieder geval iemand met een uitgebreide kit staat te filmen. Dus ik denk dat sommigen gewoon dat zien en dan zwaaien. Sommigen kennen me ook wel, maar denk lang niet iedereen. Gaat nog komen. The man also saw the footage where the pilot, the first officer, was waving, so he was wondering in Dutch if the pilots know me. And I said, well, some of them undoubtedly will, but they probably also just saw somebody filming with an extensive setup and just waved to be friendly. Although some, of course, do know me, and hopefully at some point they all will know me. But anyway. Next up, Air France flight 1640, and that's an A220-300. Arriving from Paris, flight time 45 minutes, nominal flight time the Verhupno, Foxtrot Hotel Papa, November Oscar. The airplane a year old, first flight October 2024. Hey, and that's interesting, Qatar Airways Boeing 787 is also coming, is what Paywast Sabir says. When will that airplane arrive here and will it land here on the Polderbaan? That's the question. Every now and then the sun is creeping through, but it looks like most of the thinner clouds are just north of us and a bit south of us. Every now and then you do see a glimpse of the sun. Still not great. It does look like north of us things are opening up more rapidly and more clearly. But there you go. Hey, nice picture, Ricardo. Yeah, nice one. Ricardo just showed me a picture he took from the landing A220 from Air France just now. Nice profile picture from the side. And Liwe is back. Good to see you again. Next up, an Embraer 190 arriving from Cardiff. 56 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel Echo Zulu November. The Verheesen. 15 years old, first flight February 2010. Transavia Retro, next after this. Heb je de Retro Transavia wel eens in het echt al gezien, Ricardo? Oh, mooi. Was just wondering if Ricardo has seen the Retro Transavia in real life already. And he has. And he will again in a few moments from now. Next up, the Retro Transavia, flight 5132, arriving from Barcelona. Barcelona, usually around 2 hours of flight. And today, flight time 1 hour and 54 minutes. It's the Papa Hotel Yankee Hotel Delta, which we saw getting delivered. Well, was it July, I think, last year? Yeah, first flight was in July 2025. It has that cute boop the snoot snooty. What a cutie, isn't it? It is such a cute little airplane. If only Transavia would equip all of their airplanes in this livery, it would make the fleet look so much prettier. But there you go. Let's look and listen. Transavia butt shot in the making. Exit stage left. Indeed, Piotrek, Retro Transavia. And it seems that we've crossed through 600 likes. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. I am having great fun here. Ricardo probably is too. And I hope you guys at home are as well. If you are enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, consider adding another like. It'll help to bring in more people in the future. That was Retro Transavia, and next up will be Airlines operated by BHR, arriving from Erbil in Iraq. That's an A320 that has been underway on this flight for 4 hours and 36 minutes. Lima Zulu Bravo Hotel Mike is the registration. The airplane is 20 years old. First flight was in May 2005, and I am looking behind me because things are brightening up here. And I'm wondering, is the sun peeping through the clouds? Cannot see any shadows. I cannot cast a shadowy wave to you guys yet, so peeking. Peeping is something else. Peekaboo. Peeking. Ja, IJsland Air is met een A321 gekomen vandaag. Volgens mij ook voor het eerst. Ricardo wonders if Iceland Air already landed, and I said yes. And today it was an A321 Neo, wasn't it, or was it an A320 Neo? Either of the two. Remarkably, not a Max 8 737 or 76 or 75. Now, it is 12:30. In 30 minutes from now, the center will probably open up a secondary runway for arrivals. And I am wondering if the Emirates A380 is already in Dutch airspace. Probably just on the brink of it. If it does enter into Dutch airspace, could you guys have a look and see what runway it has been assigned to? Oh dear, oh dear. Grown-up TV over there. Adult TV for the coots. With little cootlings later in the year. EasyJet arriving from Valencia. A320 Neo up next. And a warm welcome to Paddy, the theater dog. The algorithm likes me today, showing your channel, just subbed. You have a great view, thanks. And that is Sarah from the UK. Well, Sarah, welcome to AMS Live. Nice of you to say hi. Thanks for the subscription. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi like Sarah just now did. It is not mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many people are watching together, they know a lot, and they'll happily try to answer any questions that you might be having. Ricardo's volunteer is also returning. He is also... Ah, niet eens. Not even gloves. Not even gloves, no hat. Als die baan in gebruik is, en volgens mij is die in gebruik, dan kun je bij de McDonald's ook vliegtuigen kijken. Ja. Dan moet wel de buitenvelderbaan moet wel open zijn. Dat is de baan die oost-west is georiënteerd. En volgens mij, maar dan moet ik even ook kijken in de ticker, want daar staat ook het baangebruik. Ik kan het nu even nog niet zien, hij komt zo meteen voorbij. Vanmorgen was die open. Ik denk dat die nog steeds open is. Dus je hebt best kans dat je dan inderdaad ook daar bij de McDonald's, dat je daar ook kan spotten. Dat is ook een hele mooie plek inderdaad. Hoewel, als die baan nu gebruikt wordt om op te stijgen, heb je wel kans dat tegen de tijd dat ze bij de McDonald's langskomen, dat ze wel al wat hoger zitten. Ik weet niet of ze dan al door de wolken heen klimmen. Even kijken. In de ticker staat inderdaad dat 09 nu voor departures wordt gebruikt. Dus de baan bij de McDonald's daarvoor, die wordt nu ook gebruikt om op te stijgen. Dan komen ze van rechts als je daar staat. Maar wat ik al zeg, zeker de kleinere vliegtuigen, die zullen dan al in de lucht zijn. En dan heb je best kans dat ze al bijna door de wolken gaan. De zwaardere vliegtuigen, die doen wat langer erover om op te stijgen. Dus die komen dan wat lager over. Maar als het plafond van de wolken zeg maar vrij laag is, zoals nu, dan heb je kans dat je ze wel hoort, maar dat je wel goed naar rechts moet kijken om ze nog te kunnen zien. Am I hearing the propellers of the Dash 8-100? Horen jullie dat ook, propeller?
Ja.
Dash 8, ik denk de kustwacht.
Ja, de kustwacht, ja.
Ja. Of een helikopter, inderdaad, dat kan ook, een rotor. We're hearing something. Not sure if it is a helicopter or... Alright. Maria is signing off. Hey, and good news. Good news, Paul says that the A380 has been assigned to the Polderbaan. That is good news. What? And this is an E2 Embraer that has used its reversers. Hey jongens, de A380 die gaat hier landen. Die is assigned Polderbaan. Dus dat is goed nieuws. Dat is de allergrootste. Die heeft 2 verdiepingen over de hele lengte van... Die komt kort voor 1 uur. Die is nu in Nederland, in het luchtruim al. En die is...
En die andere A380, die zie ik nooit meer.
Alright.
Uit China.
So the A380 has been assigned to the Polderbaan.
Die van China zie je bijna nooit. Drukke
And I think I had to scroll back in the chat, and now my chat window is no longer scrolling back to the last message. So I'm reloading the chat window. Yeah, I think it is the Coast Guard that we're hearing. Alrighty, here we go. Transavia flight 5756 is next to arrive here. It's arriving from Marrakesh, and that is in Morocco, in the north of... Ecuador! No, wrong button. Just to keep you guys and myself sharp. Marrakesh in the north of Ecuador, right. When hell freezes over. No, one of the A321neos is the Papa Hotel Yankee, a year old. First flight March 2024. Means it'll turn 2 pretty soon. In the meantime, Thijs Mook renewed his membership. Welcome back to the Aurora Skylines, Thijs. Thank you so much for your vote of confidence and for renewing your membership. We kept your seat warm. Thank you so much and welcome back, Thijs Mook. Once again, a member of the Aurora Skylines. Make sure to use those custom emojis you once again have at your disposal, mate. They're there to be had fun with. That goes for all members. Use those custom emojis as much and as inappropriately as you can think of. Let's turn back. Kuwait Airways Flight 127 is next to land here, arriving from Kuwait City. That's an A330neo, the 9 kilo Alpha Papa Juliet. That's an airplane that's a year old. First flight November 2024. And diverting United 767, but that goes to the center runway. Diverting 767. Very nice. United Airlines 767 from Amsterdam to Chicago is returning to Schiphol, but according to Nicholas, it will be going to the center runway. That's interesting. That's interesting. If that's where it's going to, do they maybe leave open Polderbaan for the rest of the traffic? Where is the diverting 767 right now? How far away from Schiphol is it? Will it be arriving here before 1 o'clock or after 1 o'clock? Makes me wonder if it is going to be arriving after 1 o'clock. Then maybe the traffic from the east that normally would be directed to the center runway will maybe get directed to Polderbaan instead. A380 is now above Lelystad. Thanks for the heads up, Jari. That means it is not too far away. Well, it's not yet exactly above Lelystad. It's just past Elburg. It's still a few minutes away from Lelystad. Wietse says that center is expected to open up after 1 o'clock like normal. Okay, interesting. Makes me wonder how far away the 767 still is before 1 o'clock. Okay, yeah, so basically dedicated arrival there. No other traffic yet. This is TAP Air Portugal, flight 668. In the Star Alliance livery, as you guys can clearly see, an A320neo arriving from Lisbon. And no cabin cabin in this airplane. Seven 767, 10 minutes out. Thanks for the heads up, guys.
2010 ging met de Boeing 767. Met zo'n grote hoofd. Ja, Boeing 767 van RTR.
And there's the windsock. And Wesley just became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Wesley. And thank you so much for the kind words. Wesley writes, photographing on the threshold of 18 right, listening to Boy, great Friday, thumbs up. Well, thank you so much for your vote of confidence and welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. If you need to know where stuff is, ask around. Many have gone before you and they'll happily show you the way. Enjoy the custom emojis and thank you for the support, Wesley, our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. So there's a diverting 767 that has been assigned to the center runway. We should still be able to see it from here when it passes by. It is still a little under 10 minutes out. The A380, according to Hans Hawkes, is going to the center runway. That's interesting because our moderator Paul earlier said it was assigned to the Polderbaan. So makes me wonder if things have changed in the meantime. A380 changed to center.
Naar center?
Ja.
Dat is wel heel erg ver.
Dat is raar.
Groter.
Ja.
Kom hier.
Hij is net omgegooid. Ze hebben, in eerste instantie zou hij hier naartoe komen en nu blijkt toch dat hij naar het center gaat.
Dan zien we dat het korter bij.
Ik denk dat dat te maken heeft met een uitwijkend vliegtuig wat ook die kant op gaat. Je hebt best kans dat ze misschien de Polderbaan dan even dichtgooien of zo. Not sure. Maybe this is because they'll.
Voor dat ene vliegtuig wat terug moet.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, the airplane that is returning has been assigned to the center runway allegedly. Might be that they're switching it up. I'm not sure.
Die was onderweg naar Amerika.
Zeker deze baan voor jou.
Ja, of ze gaan deze baan gewoon inspecteren. Dat doen ze ook zo nu en dan. Hey, ja, inderdaad. Firefighters are preparing. Ricardo just now pointed this to me, that the firefighters have come out. So maybe the airplane returning to Schiphol will be landing on the Polderbaan then, and the rest will be temporarily assigned to center. Could that be the case?
Dat is aan de overkant.
Ja.
Nee, ja, je kan het wel een klein beetje zien. Maar,
Wouter says 767 taking the spot of the A380. So it might be that a diverging 767 is going to land here on the Polderbaan pretty soon. The firefighters at least have showed up here. Fire station, of course, lying a bit back over there. Firefighters for the 767, yeah. And the precautionary landing is going to land here on the Polderbaan. So instead of the A380, we are going to see an airplane, a 767 that departed not too long ago and is returning to Schiphol out of precaution. Yes, at Schiphol there's always a lot to see. This is flight 263 arriving from Warsaw, and wasn't that a polished landing? Alright. Ed Groot, as an ex-firefighter, is also looking along. And Axel says polished. I see what you did there. Absolutely. Oh jee, ja nee, het is te koud. Als zonder handschoenen, zonder muts, ik snap het volkomen. Dun broekje. Ja, ik heb een skibroek hieronder aan. En 2 paar sokken en verwarme handschoenen. Je moet, ja... Ricardo had je beter moeten brieven. Ricardo came here dressed warmly, but his mate only in jeans, no gloves, no hat. It is too cold. Yeah, I'm not very warm either, and that's with 2 pairs of socks on, with heated gloves on, with a balaclava and a hat on. Thick winter parka, heated gloves, ski trousers under my rain pants. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Polderbaan Runway 18 right, where we were initially warming up to see the A380, but now the A380 will go to the center runway. And instead, we are going to see a 767 that is returning to Schiphol Airport. The firefighters have come out of their hole to await the airplane. I am zooming out on flight radar. There it is already. It is the next airplane to be landing here. It is on the glide slope already. United Airlines flight 908 diverting to Amsterdam, and now next to land here on the Polderbaan. It's a 767-300. Bird control is making haste, driving to the north. No speed cameras here. Ja, die reed behoorlijk hard. The airplane is now number 9 on flight radar. It left from Schiphol 46 minutes ago. The November 675 Uniform Alpha, 25-year-old airplane, first flight June 2000. It just crossed the North Sea Canal and it should become visible pretty soon. Visibility to the north today still not the greatest. Max Verstappen driving the K1 bird control vehicle just now. Right, well, the firefighters are standing there. I'm not sure if they'll go move towards the airplane or if it's just going to continue taxiing. This is just a precautionary measure. Either way, the lights of the 767 just came through the clouds. There is the airplane, United Airlines Flight 908, returning to Amsterdam after having departed here around 12:03. Was supposed to go to Chicago and is now returning back to Amsterdam for reasons unknown. The reversers being deployed. The firefighter's not moving. Now one of the firefighters has begun moving and the other one has too. Yep. And there's also a smaller vehicle. I'm not sure if that's Firefighter or a different emergency vehicle leading the way. Military police over the cycling path also with their lights on and relatively high speed. There's the airplane. There are the firefighters going there. K1 bird control over the runway, also going that way. And indeed, Paul, it took some time slowing down. Must still be heavy. I'm not sure if they were able to dump any fuel before landing. Robert Hilton speculates that they're probably returning with a toilet blockage.
Hey, de A380.
And in the meantime, the A380 landing on the center runway.
Ik heb die erbij kunnen halen.
All right. Is this a stare down of sorts? In the meantime, Emirates A380, the one that was supposed to be landing here today, going to the center runway. We'll probably hear its reversers once it has touched down on 18C.
Hij staat erop.
Martin is wondering about the age. If I recall, it was from 2000, 25 years old. I don't see it on Flight Radar anymore.
Ja, die staat daar.
Right, the firefighters seem to be returning back to the station.
Het vliegtuig was onderweg naar Chicago.
Yep, underway to Chicago it was, and then returning. That's the A380 that you're hearing.
Ja.
The firefighters are headed back for the fire station, seemingly. The 767 is still standing there and has not begun to move yet.
Nee, de remorse.
And indeed, Wouter, no, Idaho L. The fire truck's probably there just in case the brakes got too hot. Now you can see that the 767 has begun to move.
Hey, ik ga weer.
Hey, is goed man, leuk je eventjes ontmoet te hebben. Wel thuis.
Ja, dankjewel.
En veel plezier nog als je ook nog even straks naar de McDonald's gaat of wat dan ook.
Ja. Dag,
Hey, wil jij nog iets van een sticker eigenlijk?
ja.
Dat dacht ik al.
Hey, dank je.
Hey, alsjeblieft Ricardo. Hey, veel plezier hè.
Fijn weekend.
Dankjewel, jij ook.
Morgen, volgende keer wel.
Ik ga je weer zien in de chat, is goed. Doei doei. Alright, the 767 is moving. The A380 has landed in the meantime. K1 already returned that way via the runway. I'm not sure if they still need to do a more thorough inspection of the runway. Has the runway reopened again? Is that what Wietse is talking about? Right, the 767 that was supposed to go to Chicago has landed here. And after an inspection and a temporary stop, it's continued moving, seemingly going back to one of the gates. In the meantime, traffic to the Polderbaan is resuming and parallel arrivals have begun. BA is the next airplane to land here, and I'm wondering, are there any other wide bodies that are still coming this way? The sun is still doing its best to shine through the clouds. On occasion it is looking like it's succeeding. Then a few moments later it isn't anymore. Looking at flight radar, it doesn't look like there is much interesting traffic coming this way anytime soon. With parallel arrivals now, the interesting wide bodies that are on approach seem to be arriving from the east and seem to be going to the center runway. Here we have BA having arrived from London Heathrow.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
And in the meantime, Steven, aka Just Plain Nuts, just now went ahead and he gifted no less than 5 memberships. Steven, thank you so much for your generosity, mate. You didn't have to do it, but you went ahead and did it anyway. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Those 5 new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Steven if you are one of the recipients of his gifted memberships. Have fun with the custom emojis, the 34 that you now have at your disposal for a month. They're there to be had fun with, so make sure that you do, guys. Steven, thank you so much for your generosity, mate. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 5 new members. Just made it to ATL. How bad is the weather in your neck of the woods this week? I saw a lot of reports on the Dutch news as well about how in the United States the weather last week has been pretty extreme. Lots of snowfall and cold temperatures all throughout the United States, also hitting the southerly states. How bad has it gotten in Georgia? Hey Lisa also back in the chat. If you just joined us, Lisa, you probably missed the 767 that diverted and landed here on the Polderbaan. And that caused the A380, unfortunately, to go to the wrong runway still, when it was in time, actually, to land on the Polderbaan. Transavia A321neo using the reversers. Somebody is going to get fired. What? Sarah says, is it me or is the visibility getting a little worse? Well, it's been going on and off all throughout the show. In other parts of the Netherlands, visibility has been much better, or at least reportedly. And over here it's been up and downs, but generally speaking, not that great all throughout the show. This morning it was a bit more overcast. Right now, here and there, mostly to the north of me, you can see a few patches of blue sky every now and then. But right now, it's once again a bit more cloudy, and visibility on ground level has been rather poor all throughout the show. Now, looking on flight radar to see what lies ahead, I am not seeing any wide bodies coming to the Polderbaan anytime soon, so I'm wondering, would this be a good moment to wrap up? The A380 has already landed. Most of the wide bodies in the upcoming hour that are approaching are going to be arriving from the east. And from what I can see, zooming out, the next wide body to the Polderbaan is going to be KLM Flight 744, arriving from Lima in Peru, but that still has to cross the entire Gulf of Yorkshire. Thibault tuning in aus Wittmund. Right when I think I am going to wrap up, guys. It's I think we've had the most interesting flights already. Hopefully the weather will be a bit better with visibility improving tomorrow. Axel says there's a narrow body coming. Yeah. Plenty of narrow bodies coming. Yeah, now I think I'm going to wrap up, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did like what you have seen and you haven't done so already, consider adding to the likes. It'll help greatly to reach a wider audience in the future. If all is well, I should be out again tomorrow with a new show, hopefully with better visibility. A big thanks for all of you for joining me here today. Thanks for the support, for the likes. Thank you so much for all the gifted memberships. Those who became a member themselves or renewed their membership. Thank you so much for all the other forms of support. And a massive big thanks once again to all the moderators for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. For me, it's time to wrap up. Hope to see you all in good health tomorrow. For now, I'm going to say thanks for joining. Take care and see you soon. Bye for now, guys.